Hey, Ashes to Ruby's family. How you doing? It's been a month where we talked about communication last time. My name's John.
I'm Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Ooh.
John and Joe, here we are, and we're going to continue our conversation on communication, healthy communication. I was reminded of my childhood and growing up, and we used to play football, like not flag football, but with our friends. So it wasn't flag football; it was like full contact football. Mm-hmm. So we would go out, we would pick teams, and there would really be about 20 of us, mm-hmm. and we'd pick teams. And then we would go head to head, like full football, no pads. It was like iron grid. It was like there was bones and snot and blood that happened just because, we're kids. We just get together and we have fun. But we never practiced. We just went out and played. But I did join a football team where we practiced every day. There was a team in a season that we practiced morning. We did dry run-throughs at lunch. And then we had an evening practice to prepare for games.
Okay.
So that was a real football team with a mission to win. And so I believe it's the same thing with our relationships. This is a professional team. We want to win, and we do it by practicing.
Love it.
So where we left off last month, we talked about different, what was it?
Different styles of communication. So we talked about...
Do you remember what they are?
Yeah. I'm assertive. You're aggressive.
I'm aggressive.
Then we had the passive aggressive.
Yeah.
And then we had also the passive. And we talked about the different types of styles of communication.
Correct.
Open and closed communication.
And so we kind of opened the door to that. Where do you fit in this grid? We've made this grid. What are you asking what this is, Joe? Well, this is our communication compass. It says navigating your way to a healthy relationship. So there's an intro side to it. And then there's the 4 styles of communication. It's kind of like a grid. So you kind of can point where you are. You might lean towards passive aggressive, but then you're assertive as well. So you actually might be over here. Or maybe you're a little bit mostly assertive with a little bit of a tendency to get a little crazy.
I like that.
Or maybe you're very passive and you just don't have a voice. So there's the quadrants of the compass here. It's open communication, high consideration of others, low consideration of others, and then closed communication. So where do you fall in there? There's a cool little handout that we'll explain a little bit more later. There's some communication tips, but ultimately, and we've been playing with this in the booch pit. I was at a meeting yesterday, and one of my friends, she was just frustrated about life and work and a pet and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, hey, do you want to empty your emotional jug? And she's like, you're dumb. No, she didn't say that, but she was like, okay, I'll play along. What you got? So I just presented her with it. So we've been playing with this, and it's been very valuable.
Amen.
Because we have these emotions, and they can build and build. And so this is a way to express. So you could do this with your partner. You could do this journaling by yourself. You could do this with family members. And it's a way to navigate healthy relationship. So it's like practice. So we ain't gridiron football no more. We're the NFL.
Amen.
So get your practice shirts on and let's go. So me and Joe are going to actually do a live demonstration. So do you want me to ask you first?
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
So you're more assertive.
Who's the more mature person in the relationship? I think you are. But
okay. Well, no. Sometimes it depends on the day.
It's a hard measure.
It's a hard measure. Yeah. But you know what? I'll be the... you can ask me the question.
You'll be the receiver.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll be the receiver.
So here we go. And we are going to have a link to this tool that you can implement into your daily life. And we'll have a link to that at the bottom of the video. So number 1, there's some rules. So this is about emptying your feelings, learning to not blow up or stuff or shove down, but it's to remain balanced. So set a timer for 15 minutes. Each person gets a turn to answer the below questions without interruption.
Yes.
That can be very hard. Without feedback, without advice. This is not a time to respond or discuss. Take turns listening to each other and thank the other person for sharing. This tool can be used for journaling as well. All right, here we go. What are you mad about, Joe?
Today, personally, I was mad that you came too early because I was recording a video and you usually are loud. And so I prayed a prayer to God and said, hey, let's hope John is a little late today. So you came in and you were loud. And so that got me a little frazzled.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
And you're going to have to talk loud.
Yes, I have to talk louder.
Joe's intimate whisper.
I'm like, ah.
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
What are you frustrated about?
I am frustrated. I think it's more in general in the sense that I think I see lots of vision. And sometimes I get frustrated because I get overwhelmed by the magnitude of the vision and the possibilities. And so I get stuck in my head. And I want to know how this is going to happen. So I think that's probably one of the areas that I struggle with.
Thank you for sharing that. What are you sad about?
I'm sad about some lost relationships. I was thinking about today. And I was thinking about people that used to be connected to this place that I had a conversation with one recently. And so, yeah, it made me sad about this situation and the circumstance.
Thank you, Joe, for sharing that.
You're
Very
welcome.
And what are you scared or worried about?
I think my greatest fear is losing my perspective or my frame on what God is telling me to others. So sometimes with you, for example, you're a very strong person. So because I tend to be more passive. So I'm learning to be more assertive and trying to understand how to speak from an assertive side. And it doesn't mean I'm being hurtful. So that's a good one. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Hey, what are you happy about?
Oh, just everything. The future looks so fun and exciting. I'm happy about the lives that are being transformed in this place. And getting to see the evidence of it on a day-to-day basis and seeing people that seem so hopeless and going, how is this person ever going to change? And then seeing sometimes kernel transformation and then other times it's like a miracle. So the fact that I get to witness that on a daily basis and I get excited about the potential. I know you're going to some place in the north. That could be. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Just seeing things expand.
Awesome. Thank you. Did I say looking forward?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, that's it. Okay, you did. You passed.
Good job.
We don't
good.
give scores, but I just thank you, Joe, for being open and
Thank you. So now it's your turn.
Now it's my turn.
What are you mad about?
Oh man, I tried to watch the news again and I just realized how I just don't have the maturity to watch the news and I just couldn't do it. The political stuff and all this I just couldn't do it. I'm mad at how they do the news. If I was able to be the news, I would just make it so much better.
That's good. Thank you for sharing that. What are you frustrated about?
I would be frustrated about people leaving stuff in the fridges.
He's saying this indirectly.
No, actually it's been really good around here for the most part, but I would be a little bit frustrated of picking up after people.
I got you. Thank you.
That it doesn't mean it's
no.
It could be accumulation of people, which is
I'm just listening. Thank you for sharing. What are you sad about?
I would say a tip is that you don't need to feel something right now. So at this moment, I can't think of anything I'm sad about right now. I just don't have sad in me right now.
Amen. Thank you. What are you scared or worried about?
Mildly worried about my wife going to North Bay with some younger people to look at a college and just worried about the ride and stuff that road can be a little bit dangerous and so mildly just want her to focus on driving and not having fun. No.
Yeah.
You can have fun.
Totally. What are you happy about?
Oh man. I wake up happy. I'm happy about just stuff going on with some of the kombucha sales and just seeing that grow and just some of the reach of LifeLab and even the tools like this and working together as some of that stuff is I'm happy about I got a new roommate and that kind of stuff. Like I have a lot of happiness.
Amazing. What are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to possibly just seeing the reach of kind of developing LifeLab, taking it from a massive 20 session workshop and then actually distilling it, recreate, bringing up new processes and is just stuff that we've been able to create and simplify, and then how that's going out. So looking forward to possibly going up north and being a part of a team that brings this message into jails and churches and that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Jon, that was brilliant.
I'm sweating.
I know.
I feel a little sweaty
I did too.
right now. Yeah.
But this is the point, and what we wanted, I think, to illustrate is that imagine if we all emptied our emotional jugs on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I know with my son right now, that's been profound in the sense that he often says to me, "You're not listening to me." And I'd be like, "What are you talking about?" I listen. But I decided to start doing this with him. And it's really changed the way we're interacting. We're not fighting as much anymore because now he's like, hey, I'm actually listening because I can go through this process. And he's told me his frustration with his teacher, frustrating with me sometimes that I don't listen, you know?
It's hard not to respond when things happen.
Especially when it's going to be harder when it is with like your wife or your child because there's lots of emotion attached. And
especially when they say like, you're loud. And I'm like, when you said that, I was like, I know. I've been told that all my life. Like, I know. I get it.
Which is cool though. It's triggering sometimes.
Yeah, it can be, it can like ignite a little defensiveness or like, well, it wasn't that loud, like minimize. But the reality is it disturbed what you were doing.
That's it. And so, and also you learn a little bit about yourself. Because for me, for example, I'm afraid of emotions. So when, and if it, you know, it's culturally, like we stuff emotion. We don't talk about stuff.
The mighty Eritreans, it's just like, suck it up and be a man.
That's it. That's exactly the rule. So now understanding the consequence of emotions that are not resolved and how they spill out into all sorts of areas of our lives. This is incredibly healthy. And so it's been really exciting to see this, like how we're implementing this in our lives. And also,
I know we took it home too. And we started talking to my son and it was a little bit after dinner and we went he went into extra innings. He just talked and talked. And I was like, I have to go to bed. And then my wife came up like an hour later. I'm like, yeah, it was just, wow. It ignites conversation and it ignites healthy relationships and bonding and that kind of stuff. So this is a gift to you. There's going to be a link to it at the bottom of the video, and we would love for you to set this on your fridge or on your kitchen table and start implementing this on a daily basis. So together we can come out of isolation and into vulnerability. We can destroy addiction and guilt and shame in through our connections and healthy behaviors, but ultimately being connected to God. And if we're connected to God, we can connect to others. But here are some healthy tools that we can implement in each other's lives.
Amazing.
All right. Good job, Joe.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Keep the peace. Be of good behavior. We'll see you next month.
Ciao.